1. Greetings, every people. It's your cult personality here, ToonKritic's name. Yes, we are back. Yes, we are back from Bronycon. If you saw the previous episode, we covered the original My Little Pony movie. If you'd like to see that, link is in the description. But yes, we are back. Welcome back to Roundtable's Magic, the show where we take a look at the pones of the Technicolor variety, where friendship is indeed magic. So, now that we are back on schedule, and we're here to talk about a rather interesting episode that actually aired during Bronycon. I am, of course, not alone. Yes. I am joined by the following people. Golden Fox.
Excuse me.
Fox, really?
Nice intro.
Nice.
10 stars. 10 stars.
Filling in for Keyframe is DeWilstonator.
Sup.
And we also got the British Ninja.
So, we started the show in Season 5, correct?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so I have not had the opportunity to say this, but I finally get to say this. Damn you, Lawson!
Oh, I'm going to have fun talking about that at one point.
We also have Lightning Bliss.
I am totally vent drawing, not because the fans are driving me nuts. Totally not going to be like, Rarity, I'm just fine.
Dresses.
Bliss.
Oh, dear.
Bliss, have a cookie and you'll be all better.
And our special guest for today's episode, you know her as one half of the deliciously cinnamon rolly couple, TakaraPOV.
Hello, friends. I am very excited to be here.
Now, if I'm correct, you watched this episode with Finn, Tarek, and Doc at Bronycon.
Yep. We recorded our thoughts and everything. You may be able to find that on YouTube.
Yes.
But I saw it.
Today's episode we are talking about is Fame and Misfortune. We are back off of the hiatus, and we're just gonna kick this off. Running and stuff. I don't know how the phrase went. You get this on the floor running, or whatever. How the phrase ever goes. So, who would like to start this off?
I'll start off.
Okay. Also, Voice of Reason is not here. He is at work, for those who are wondering.
He's been at work for a long time.
Yeah.
Which is rather unfortunate, but shout outs to you, Voicey. We miss you.
Yes.
So,
I'll bet someone's going to
Thespio.
take over the negative trait on his part.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Thespio, kick this off.
Okay, we're starting with likes.
Yes. What's one thing you liked about the episode?
It is so meta, it hurts!
Okay, for those of you that are kind of thick-headed, explain meta to me.
Meta is pretty much like when the show knows that they're being watched, or like when they know, like when they make fun of itself, like like say when characters talk to the fourth wall.
Gotcha.
In a way, but it could also mean like there's a certain line that sort of speaks like, we know you're watching this. We know this relates to you. We know you exist.
Think like examples are like Deadpool or Sonic Boom.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or even like some of the jokes, like say in Spaceballs.
Yes.
Like some of those are considered meta. Like it's like Spaceballs. How can they be watching this if it's already in the theater? And like all the merchandising and stuff like that. But anyway. I feel like this was like before Fox told me about this detail about Larson writing it, which he'll probably divulge into later on. This, I think, was a collective message from all the staff telling everybody, chill.
Have a coconut
Your
smile
brains.
and just shut the frick up.
No.
Exactly. Just, guys, we know our show's not perfect. We get it. Calm yourselves.
How about
Tater
no?
tots.
it was one of those things, like, it feels like this is almost slice of life amped up to 30 or something like that. It is so self-aware. Like, not gonna lie, when I first watched it, I had no idea how I should feel, I should react to it. Like, I mean, I liked it, I thought it was funny, but at the same time, should I have liked it? I was, like, no joke, I was really conflicted on how I was supposed to feel about Fame and Misfortune.
I can add on that. He was flipping like crazy when I was outside in the living room. He comes out and he talks about the episode, and he was being hysterical. Just really, I didn't know what to think. Just Emma Larson is part of the Illuminati, confirmed.
Damn you, Larson. Damn you to heck.
No, Larson. I don't damn him. I say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much.
I love episodes like these.
I think this is like. I think.
Give him a second. Give him a second to collect himself.
Yeah.
I think like this is a nice sort of. I'm trying to find the words to say it. This was, I think, something that the fandom, like certain areas, not like every single bit of it, like certain areas, I think this served as one of the best wake-up calls that I think the show could ever give.
Twilight was better before the wings.
I agree, and I'll get to that later.
Oh my god.
So, Will, you gonna chill on the Glim Glam now?
Glim Glam and the Zim Zam.
Zim Zam. That one's for you, Key.
I may be taking Keyframe's place, but there is no way you will ever get that phrase to be slang out of my mouth hole.
Oh, a gossack horse.
Bless,
overall, every single bit of this dialogue was just a huge wake-up call to the fans, and I'm gonna start rambling, and probably everybody else has stuff to expand on my points. So, eeny, meeny, miny, Takara.
Okay, you want my positives?
Yes,
You're one positive.
One positive.
I like that it had a very good attitude about it, like that it was like how it was meta. I like that it was able to acknowledge its flaws without ever coming off as snippy towards the audience or anything like that.
Like it knew how to take a joke and didn't just be straight up blunt or angry with their audience.
Exactly, and you know what? I think that leads to a lot of its strongest points. Like, there were a lot of funny moments with Rarity and her stress outfit, and Pinkie Pie with, like, the jokes and everything. I feel like they managed to take, like, what the acknowledgments and sort of use it to make a lot of funny moments in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
That seems fair.
Funny
like
thing,
they knew how to make fun of themselves and still make it entertaining.
Exactly.
Yeah. What were you saying, Fox?
No, I'm even reading the chat, and they say that the episode was coming off of the bad attitude with the towards the fandom.
I highly disagree
I don't
with
think
that.
so.
They weren't talking to the audience. They were talking to the audience within the episode. Like, they were talking to other ponies, and I guess, like, using that. But I don't think that they were talking to specific people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I can see how it could be taken the wrong way, but why be pessimistic and take the latter, that the episode was acknowledging that there are those of us that exist that are a little hard on the show, or the writers are hard on themselves and are taking things way too seriously, but it came off so funny like that. I don't see anything negative about it.
No, here's the deal. I feel like if you're offended by this episode calling out, like, your stuff, and, like, you really get uppity about the show, trying to say, hey, you should chill out, then maybe, you should listen a little closer to the episode, because if it gets you that cross, then maybe you're the people they're talking about.
Yeah.
To me,
I have my positive, so.
because to me, I don't think it was ill-intended. I mean, the attitude, yeah, it did bring out loud, those common complaints. But it's best to acknowledge them and understand their viewpoint. And as Will pointed out best, you got to learn to calm down and not, be too hypercritical over the show. I mean, you've seen how hypercritical a lot of us were in the past couple of years.
Oh, God, yeah.
And, there are some of us that do take a really hypercritical look at it, but they do it as a joke. Hence, Josh Scorcher or Silverquill and stuff like that. They know how to take their super critical points and, still make it entertaining. Like, they point it out, but they don't show any specific malice towards it. And granted, all things considered, Fame and Misfortune isn't an objectively badly written episode.
Oh, guys, actually, so two things I actually want to quickly point out. One, as of this is being live right now, we are currently at 100 people watching this.
Nice.
Oh, wow, nice.
Second, Tricky actually just pointed something out to me. So, M.A. Larson did write this episode. He pointed out to me that at the interview that we did with M.A. Larson, around the 42-minute mark, as it says here, he says that there's a Season 7 episode with his name on it, that it wasn't his idea and he wasn't really involved with it. So, we may have gotten this episode foreshadowed a little while back.
We may have been warned.
Oh, my.
So that's actually pretty interesting. We kind of got a little.
You know what?
It's
worth the wait.
It was worth the wait, absolutely. So, Taka, do you have anything else you wanted to add, or do you want to pass it on?
Let's pass it on.
Okay, who do you pass it to?
Eeny, meeny, miny, golden, you're it.
All right. So, I'm going to add a little more onto this whole quote-unquote jab thing. Somebody in the chat pointed out that the characters' attitudes were the problem. To an extent, I can understand, because some people are going to get super angry over anything, and that's something that can be said for pretty much any fandom. Whether it could be Steven Universe fandom, the Sonic fandom, the Disney fandom, and a bunch of other fandoms that I can't think of at the top of my head. People get mad very eagerly over a couple of things that don't live up to their quote-unquote their standard or to their satisfaction or what their vision is. So, and that's the one major thing that I have to point out to about the ending of the episode, in which I didn't like it at first because I was confused, but it all starts to make sense. This is pretty much talking about, like, after the song where they say that we're not flawless and everything, everybody just starts bickering at each other again. It's like, no matter what you try to explain, you cannot please everybody. And that easily reflects back to that message in Suited for Success. If you try to please everybody, chances are you'll please nobody. And I like that they took this realistic approach. It is a bit not satisfying, but it is there really is no solid solution to this. I'm just worried about how Twilight and the rest of the main six are going to have to deal with that in the future episodes. But I think that it was a very realistic take on the fact that if you try telling everybody the real, the most honest answers, they're not going to be happy. And that's something that a lot of us need to understand. And that's a decision up to us of whether or not we choose to be happy with the answers that we have. And that can be very, very situational. So I don't know if I'm making any more sense at this point.
No, you're making sense.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't talking out of my ass.
No, you're not.
No. But you actually do. Yeah. You raise up some good points, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I can easily point that out. Yeah. I think it's something that gave us a lot of food for thought within ourselves, within the fandom. I don't think this episode. Oh wait, that's the negative. Never mind.
I mean, can I go next?
Sure,
yeah, you know what? I'll pass it to you, Eeny, Meeny, Mighty, Blissy.
Yay! Because this kind of led up to my positive. So I love everything everybody just said by far. I mean, I could talk about this all day, but the biggest impact this episode had on me was the personal moral to me anyway, and that was, remember why you did this. Why did Twilight send out that book in the first place?
Because the plot told her to.
Shut up, Ninja, you're not helping.
Now I want to go to that moral that impacts me, and heck, I'll even ask all of you guys. Remember why we're doing this. Are we doing it for the fame?
Because we're too lazy to actually make episode reviews, and we figure this is the best way to keep up with everything?
No, that's just, I'm talking about a chicken butt. Okay,
I'm
he's
doing
just
it all
ruining
completely for the fame. Please subscribe to British Ninja.
He is ruining my point.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
My point is, remember when we all became, like, officially bronies on the media? Remember when you first started your channel? Remember when you first started making artwork or animation? Remember why you started doing this? Why did we start doing this in the first place? It wasn't for fame, except for Ninja.
Except for Ninja.
It wasn't.
Yeah, Ninja's a completely selfish prick, but we excuse him for that because he's British.
Hey now, you're an all-star, but you know what? You're completely right, so who cares?
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong!
Oh dear.
It was not for fame. For most of us, it was not for fortune. I mean, heck, I'm still living with my parents. I'm not making fortune on what I do. It wasn't to be popular or to be famous or whatnot. For me personally, this entire episode slapped me in the face like, why are you doing this, Bliss? Why are you doing this still? Especially when stress is not...
You're cutting out a little.
Yeah, your volume's fading in and out there.
That's what it sounds like.
Am I fine now?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yes.
All right. And I remember there was a moment in time where I kind of lost track of why I was doing this. And then I was reminded with a sweet video. If Reagan, if you're watching this, thank you for showing me that video of your kids. That was just super adorable. But seeing that reminded me of why I'm doing this. To inspire others, and to be creative, and to show what I could do. And for the episode, why Twilight did this in the first place, it was to help people in need to fix their friendships, or if they want to make friends, here's some lessons they learned. That's the whole reason why she did it. And it's ironic that we could lose track of that. Because we get caught up in the fans, or the money that's been donated, or the projects themselves. We'll get caught up that we forget why we're doing this. And the episode reminds us not to do that, or just to open your eyes and see the bigger picture, that there's more to it than the obvious. That's my positive. All right, I killed the chat.
No, we're listening.
Well, Thai Fernandez is losing his marbles. He's trying to like get his word out and question us about something.
Anyways, let's get back to the podcast. Who's up next?
Yes, who Naini they did.
I think what's left is British Ninja.
It's a Ninja or Toon. Who wants it?
Eeny, meeny, miny, who do you pick?
Fight,
Hello?
my friends.
Yeah, I
fight
can hear
for
you.
me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you want
I suppose I'll go. Yeah, sure,
Okay.
I'll go. So, let's be honest, here in the analysis community. Some analysts are better than others, either in their production or in their writing. And I feel like after season 4, just after Silver Quill kind of rocked the town, the community had like a massive surge in analyst channels. Some good, there were some very diamonds in the rough, and then there's some very, very bad channels that popped up that we don't talk about very often.
Ninja.
And then there's British Ninja, who's so far bad that he shouldn't even exist anymore, but still.
That's what I've been saying.
So, I feel like this episode is almost highlighting the bad. It's poking fun. It is. It's poking fun at all the analysts who don't actually think through all of their broad statements that they make, or the ill-evidenced claims like, Applejack only is about family, or Fluttershy only learns the same thing over and over again. I feel like the fandom should take a very good long look at this episode and try and prove it wrong. Because here's the thing, and I'll get into my negative just slightly, just a hint, but this episode is wrong in some shapes or form. It can't just deflect criticism by being self-aware by it. So I'll get to that a little bit later. I suppose. So I will pass it off to ToonKriticY2K.
All right. So we've gone this far and we haven't talked about the song yet. Interesting.
Oh, I'll get there.
Okay, so the song here was rather interesting because I was not expecting this when it actually first showed up. But the thing is about the song, while I do appreciate it, there's one part of it that actually really stood out to me. It's actually, funny enough, it's Rainbow Dash's part of the song.
Of course.
But no, I found this interesting because I'd never really seen this before. Rainbow Dash's part in the flaw of the song is, they say I'm a big shot, that my ego's the size of a whale, my confidence comes off as cocky, but it gives me the courage to fail. I've never seen that really implemented before into Dash's character, that it gives me the courage to fail. That's really deep.
Can I just say something about that? I actually missed that, but when you repeated it to me, I unintentionally screamed, "Holy crap, that's you, Zach!"
I know, that's why, because I'm like,
Kinda.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing,
It's always
though.
been Rainbow Dash's character ever since Sonic Rainbow.
But it's never really been brought out to the forefront like this before, like in a small verse.
This song was just the voice actors reading their character sheet, let's be honest.
I know, but that's a good thing, though. The way that I looked about with how Rainbow Dash's verse in this song, the courage to fail is something very important, because in what we do, we're never going to get everything always right. We're never going to get everything perfect. We have to expect to fail. And the courage to fail, in my eyes, means that it's okay to fail, because failure is a trial and error process with anything that you do. Even the simplest tasks to even tasks that have much bigger meanings, like later on in life. That is so important. And I loved seeing that with Rainbow Dash in the song. And of course, you have like Fluttershy later on saying like, it took me a while to get here, but now I have more courage and whatnot. While it is these characters, like as Ninja said, reading their character sheets, it's very, very impressive to see how far they've come throughout all this season, I think. And here is a great standing point to show how much development these characters have gone through. That's why I think this song is very important, and this is why I love Rainbow Dash's part in particular. Yes, it does remind me a lot of myself. And I never really had thought about that before, because no one's really approached the whole courage to fail angle before, so. Oh wait, hang on a second.
It gives more food for thought for the viewers.
Yes.
And it allows us to think a little more.
Yes. So I'm last, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe we move it back, starting from you.
Oh, goody! Now I get to talk about this episode. All right.
Oh, fine.
Hey,
why do you still exist?
Hey, I didn't interfere in the Bronycon panel. I chose not to, because I had totally better things to do. But anyways, this episode is great. However, the one big glaring thing here is that the rest of the town is freaking stupid. Specifically.
And this surprises you how?
Oh no! I'm gonna talk about one line here. I think that really shines through. Wow, Pinkie Pie's so much funnier in person. You've known me for.
You stole mine!
You've known me for years. Are you actually kidding me? The town cannot be this stupid. You mean to tell me that after everything that the town has been through, every single little event, every single disaster, every little accident, every little episode that has made a big splash somehow, you mean to tell me the town is still this freaking stupid and acts like, oh my god, it's like,
no,
this is the first time meeting this.
No. I almost feel like they did that on purpose, because that pony was trying to make it look like she just met Pinkie Pie for the first time, just to look good in front of the crowd. Because I met fans that have done that before, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're even better in person. And I'm like, we've met before. Well, yeah, but
those types of people are in my pet peeve list, and the town, I cannot believe, is this stupid. I seriously cannot believe that after all this time, some of them are still acting like, wow, I've never known these people before, yet you literally have since the beginning. And now all of a sudden, because they're getting all this media spotlight, you have to act like you've known them like just now, or as opposed to how you knew them before.
I don't understand why people feel the need to do that, but it is an unfortunate real event, so I'm actually not surprised. Yeah.
The fact that this is an actual real-life thing is kind of pathetic. So
it makes me very irritable.
that's my negative. I'm gonna throw it back to Mr. American Ninja over there.
Oh, howdy, y'all. Okay, so. So, if I may. The song and the general message of this episode is that we ain't perfect, that's okay. We never wanted to be perfect. Stop yelling at us just because we occasionally have bad writing. Well, I found that a little hard to swallow, coming from the giant purple princess of contradicting character arcs, Twilighty Looty Sportaflop the Alicorn. She was better without wings. Okay, and I'm going to elaborate on this because I'm better than what this show pretends to think I am. Because the moment she became an alicorn, her entire character arc was being as perfect as possible. To be like Celestia, to be a princess, to find out how she could be as flawless as she could be. Say what you like about Say what you like about What About Discord, which I consider to be one of the best episodes, period. That brought to the forefront Twilight shenanigans on how she was literally hiding her personality just to act diplomatic, to be a princess who has no flaw. So, somebody open up an audio recording software because I couldn't believe the audacity of Twilight's statements in this episode. Like, oh my god, contradiction this entire episode, and it kind of broke it for me.
This is the one thing I would headbutt and horn wrestle Ninja over, because I honestly gotta believe, no, her arc went into a different scenario where she had to learn to act like a responsible leader when she had to struggle with that. So I heartily disagree with you.
Yes, the thing is that she wanted to be perfect. And now she's saying,
because
"Oh no,
that's
we
what
never
she
wanted
thought was
that."
expected of her. That didn't make her perfect or Mary Sue. That gave her a chip on her shoulder.
She wanted to be as Mary Sue as possible, and now we have this episode that says, "Oh no, I never wanted that. I never tried to be as perfect as possible." Oh no, not me.
She wanted to be a good leader.
No.
Oh dear.
And there's no problem with that.
Guys! Whoa!
Well, Will, please don't shout in my ear. That's very annoying.
Oh boy.
Hi.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on, because I'm getting angry.
Me and Blissy will agree to disagree on that one, but man, was Twilight was.
We're done.
No, let me finish my point.
Let
No
him
point
finish
shoving.
his point.
Alright.
Look, me and Blissy will disagree until the end of time, but my God, was Twilight better before she got wings?
Okay.
And that's my point. I'll pass it over to whoever was.
It's okay to have wrong opinions.
It's okay. I tolerate you anyway, Lightning.
God. Oof.
God.
Moving on. Who was next?
I
Oh,
think
it's
it
me.
was Bliss. I think
It was me. Oh, okay. Everything that you just said was wrong. He ruined this episode. He is the reason why he's my only negative here.
Oh come on. We all have fun here. Don't worry about it.
I'm just kidding. I love
Yeah.
Well, technically, cartoons here stole my negative. That is a pet peeve. I guess the pet peeve of mine goes to all those ponies that were doing that. How they were treating Rainbow Dash, like you just totally dissed the Princess of Friendship by saying, we don't care about those injuries Twilight's made. We want to know more about Rainbow Dash. I'm like, dude, you just insulted the Princess of Friendship. She's right there. Moving on. A crowd of ponies literally ganging up on Fluttershy and demanding, why haven't you learned lessons? Because you're still learning the same dang thing. And I'm like, do you not see what you're doing to her right now? She is cowering in fear of you. Can you back the flop up? My God, are fans just that yes, they are. Fans are that oblivious.
I feel like those fans, I can imagine, I guess so that's how Blissy feels at BronyCon.
Yes, that's exactly.
That's how I feel sometimes.
I'm going to share a true story with you guys at BronyCon, and you guys are all self-aware of this. But after the Equestria panel, I was at my wit's end because I didn't have any alone time, and I needed time to recharge because apparently I am that introvert. Unfortunately, though, we got swept up in the crowd. There was nowhere for me to go. I ended up cracking a little bit, and I hid behind a chair that Eliora and a Charky were sitting in. Tarek joined me behind the chairs.
I saw that, yeah.
And he's like, are you okay? No, I'm not. There's too many people. It's too loud. They won't leave me alone. It's like, okay, I love the fans. I really do. But again, I need my alone time. And I didn't have any all day. I've been at the vendor hall all day. So Tarek sees this, and then he tells Doc. Doc's eyes go up, and he's like, okay, we're going to the gaming room, the board gaming room. You're going to get some quiet time. Thank you! And then Tarek entertained me with magic card tricks. My point is, yeah, how the fans were acting and treating every single one of the characters, from Rarity to Applejack, Pinky, Twilight, Rainbow Dash, I could relate to every single one. Maybe more so than others, but it's like on one hand the pet peeve is the fans. They nailed all these fans and their personalities head on, and it's like, you guys are missing the whole point of why we do this, right? It's not for your attention. It's because we want to inspire.
You're fading in and out again, Bliss.
Yeah.
Am I fine now?
Just because our opinions are wrong.
Hello.
Shut up, Ninja. What were you saying? Yeah, go ahead, Bliss.
Okay. Yeah, my negative is how... My negative is almost like a positive. They just nailed the fans of the ponies so accurately that is how we deal with it in real life. It's like they did it too well. Because I hated every single one of those ponies.
The one thing I was going to add on top of that is I don't like the fact when they have to make characters stupid for the sake of being stupid for plot convenience, and they made the town stupid despite... No, I'm not going to get back into that. You know what I mean, though.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I will pass it off to Golden.
All right. I'm probably going to break a few rules here because I'm sure none of you pointed this out. I'm sure the voice would have wanted to point this out. There was a scene where Twilight was passing the book to the two kids saying, why don't you take a look at the lesson that Dash learned when she was at Rainbow Falls?
Oh,
no.
I remember that. We were watching that live. We were like sitting down, like I think a floor below in one of the Bronycon areas.
Yo.
And we watched that, and we had to pause that because Voice and I and Fox and a bunch of others, we were watching that episode. And when it got to that part, Voice's face just lit up, and we all died of laughter. They were just like, are you serious? We all pointed and looked at Voice, and Voice just held his head in his hands like, no. Sorry, go on though. That was seriously, that is something I'm never gonna forget.
That was a beautiful a moment. Everybody was like, no, none of the Rainbow Falls garbage.
I thought Rainbow Falls was okay.
As for the negative that I have here, it's mostly reflecting off of what everybody else is saying, of how stupid the people were, how some people could compare those kind of people or the crowd and their reaction to the books, compared it to the fandom's critical reactions over various episodes and characters, such as, oh, Fluttershy learns the same thing. Bullcrap. No, but it just... There's no better way to sugarcoat this. There have been recent rumors, and I'm thinking this could be even more true, as Tricky Fox pointed it out in the M.A. Larson interview that we've had. This episode was originally written, or was in the works during season 5, but he turned it down because he didn't like how they turned out. And this is all based on what I've heard. I don't know how true it is, but it sounds very close to being true. During season 7, the staff members decided to get this episode out of the way and continue to put it on television without his consent. And as of recently, he says he does not like the episode. I don't know how true that is, but I'm starting to understand more and more as to why he doesn't like the episode. I have not changed my opinions on the episode itself. I'm more of a mixed bag, but more towards a like, but I'm more understanding as to why people don't. It's one of those episodes where it really depends on how well you're going to take it. And it's really just that episode that you have to learn to take with a grain of salt or the opposite direction. I really have no other words to say about this. I don't know if I can get my point any clearer than that.
No, I think you got it pretty clear.
Yeah, so I'm going to point this back to Takara.
Hello.
Hi.
So my cons. I suppose this is more of a nitpick than anything else, but what really got me was at the start of the episode where I didn't really. Twilight had mentioned the lesson that she learned in The Return of Harmony, like friendship is worth fighting for. They never really wrote that in the journal.
Oh yeah, that doesn't. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
That was another stupid thing. Even the comment "Twilight was better before she had wings" is stupid because if the diary was made in season 4 after she got wings, why would there be any stuff of her, before it?
I don't know. Go ahead, Taka.
Well, it's funny because actually we were talking about it with Dr. Wolf and during that video, and we kind of concluded that maybe Celestia had sent back letters or something, and maybe they added that to the journal, and that would explain why some of them were falling out. But, it's still something I don't understand. And one thing that also really got to me was how people were always laughing at Pinky and how everything that she said was funny. I don't really get that joke. Nobody really laughs for everything that Pinkie Pie does. I never really got the meta behind that, or maybe it wasn't even supposed to be meta.
I'd honestly chalk that up to being hyperbolic in a sense. Yeah, sure, nobody really thinks that every single line Pinkie Pie says is funny, but there's some that, I would assume there were some that do think that, but not to that extreme. I would say they're being intentionally hyperbolic or exaggerative about it.
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't mention anything about how. I'm surprised that they didn't mention anything about Philly Vanilli and how Pinkie Pie was sort of she was honest, but she was honest in a way that was hurtful. If they had mentioned that, that would have gotten people really mad, I think. Or that would have. You don't think so?
I think it probably would have. I think it would have caused a stir, at least.
Yeah, that would have been too much. That's probably why they went with it. No.
Imagine if they brought up something from frickin' Mysterious Ne'er-do-well, then everybody would lose their crap over it.
If I may just, detract for a second. Are people really still that upset about Mysterious Ne'er-do-well now that, multiple other seasons have gone by?
Probably.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like I've
gotten Mysterious Ne'er-do-well.
Honestly, I think the people are still bitching about it today. It's a moot point, guys. That was ages ago. Let it go.
Was there anything else you wanted to add?
Starlight go.
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, so I believe Will is the last.
I guess for my negative, it sort of coincides with my positive. I feel like what I talked about is both a positive and a negative. It's okay to be meta, but at the same time, there was such an overabundance of it. I understand what they were going for, but at the same time, there were times I was thinking, okay, kind of chill out for a bit, please. I'm not saying, I didn't want to stop seeing. I'm just, take a breather for a little bit. Let us, relax. Take in something else for a little bit. So, it was a little much at times, but, that doesn't mean I didn't outright hate it. So, I'm glad it's still there. It's debatable whether there's too much or just enough of it. But at least for me, I found a balance at the very least.
Yeah.
And yeah, other than that, I can't really think of any other negatives that everybody else hasn't already brought up.
Okay. I think we'll nicely wrap all that up then. So, before we get to the end of this, I realize I do actually have a few Roundtable meme faces that we need to get through. So, let's get the first one out of the way. Let's see if I get all these right. Okay, here, boom. There's There's the one from Mirror Magic, which is from EG Studios. It's the picture of Starlight given that adorable face, which is the caption being "Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for you, humans." I thought that one was pretty funny, personally. And the one from The Perfect Pair, which is, I believe, this one. Here we go. This is the one from The Perfect Pair. That moment in your pony life when you find out what glue is made of.
Oh,
God.
That
All right,
one
let's
is
see it.
from Jedi Padawan Daniel. Now, of course, this episode, Fame and Misfortune.
Well, you already
Boy.
know what it is. Get it over with.
Oh, everyone knows what it is, but there's so many faces that I had to go through. There were so many that it was so hard for me to honestly pick. But the one, of course, that ended up winning overall is that. Is there even any surprise? It's this.
It's British Ninja.
What is it?
There
I
it
can't see
is.
it.
So
Takes a
this
second.
picture writes a billion words. When we saw this for the first time, a lot of us jumped back. We're just like, "What is this?" Someone was paid to animate this. So
That is. I've never seen a better picture of represented dresses.marv.
So chat, you guys know what you need to do.
You gonna let us see it in the Skype chat too?
Yeah.
Because not all of us are watching at the same time on Twitch.
I suppose I could. Yes, give me a second. Where is it? There we
Because other than that, we're kind of stuck in the dark here.
Okay, there it is. So, if you guys would like to be a part of
Okay,
this,
yeah, that face.
Yep. So I'm gonna go post this up on Twitter. Here's what you guys are gonna do. You're gonna take this picture. You're gonna put the best subtitle on it that you can, best caption, best whatever. Tag me in it under hashtag Roundtable Meme Face, and I will pick a winner for next week. And I realize that we were an episode behind, but do not worry, we're going to catch up with no problems. And before we end this, a couple of things. One, I'd like to send thoughts out to Keyframe. She's going through a pretty hard time right now. We're not going to go into personal details, but her status on the show, that she's still here, but for now, she's going to probably be taking some time for herself because of the severity of her personal family situation. So I want you all to just give her some love from all of us, and understand that with how things are going, we can only hope for the best right now. Second, for all of you guys who came out to Roundtable's Magic at Bronycon, we greatly appreciate it. I realize that not a lot of people bought the Roundtable prints. That's okay. The few that did, we highly appreciate it. And I think overall, even though Bronycon, we didn't get to spend as much time with people as we wanted, but I think we all still had a great time. The panel went great. That panel video will be coming out shortly.
Yes.
Probably
yes.
before this video, too.
Okay.
And
I have a tiny thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Ninja.
Okay, so for those who do not know of Analysis Daily,
Oh,
our
boy, I
little
forgot about
old
this.
Lightning Bliss took the top spot.
Yes, congratulations to Lightning Bliss. She is a 2-time Analysis Daily champion.
Yes.
Am that worthy?
She won the big old tournament against Silver Quill.
She
And there
beat
is still
Silver Quill.
one round left of the tournament. And I'm completely biased in saying this, but it is between Fat Man Falling and it is between Deckard's Spade. I can only beg and plead you all to go watch and vote for Fat Man Falling. He is a bro. He is one of my best friends and one of the greatest underrated critics in this entire community. So go check out the video. All you have to do is type Fat Man Falling or even just Fat Man in the comment section. That's it. Just Fat Man, and that's it. That's your vote.
Yes. And I think that's about everything. So join us next week when we talk about Triple Threat with Tarek the Dragon and Countess Rose. We're going to have a changeling and a dragon joining us for this, just to make things interesting. Hopefully
This is
everything
all
will pan
news
out
to
for
me.
that. Oh, yes. No, I've been planning this kind of for a while, so...
You didn't tell me, and now I know. I'm excited. Yay! Gonna get Big Bro in here.
Yeah.
We met Tarek at Bronycon, and he was fun to have around.
Tarek's amazing, and yes, I realize now that I'm related to Tarek and Doc. This is
Not physically, fandom.
fandom
You're
related.
welcome.
This is a weird family. So we have a rainbow alicorn, a red and black OC, a dragon, and a wolf.
Wolves. We got a lot of wolves in this pack, and that's just Lady Wolf, but we also got Tarek's pups. Yeah, Tarek has wolf pups for kids.
How did a dragon? What?
Don't ask.
Okay,
Magic.
whatever. But anyways, thank you all for joining us for this episode. We will see you guys next week. Stay awesome.